In this video, we'll be looking at how lubricated wads placed between the powder and ball affect accuracy and barrel fouling, and comparing these groups to those that only use lube on the cylinder end. Made the wads from 1/8 inch felt, dipped them in melted SPG lube, and pushed them into the cylinder after 25 grains of 3F. Seated a 451 Lee cast round ball on top of the wad for the first two groups. Group 3 used no felt wad, so lube was added on top of the ball. Group 4 had the wads placed after the ball, and you can actually see where one of those struck the target. Last group, loaded same as the third, no wad, just lube at the end of the ball.
I'm gonna low shot bottom of paper. Came up with a little bit. Off to the left of our last one. Back over by shot number 2. And that's in that same group. Now we got a second group this time. No swabbing the barrel out or anything. See what this thing does.
My thinking was that lube behind the ball would do a better job of softening the fouling, since it wouldn't get blown out ahead of the ball as the shot is fired. Also, the flash going out between the barrel and cylinder would not have to get past the ball and the felt wad before it could set off a charge in an adjacent cylinder. And it's been noticed that the gas escaping between the end of the cylinder and the barrel does a pretty good job of wiping lube off the adjacent cylinders.
Seems like I'm getting a little different power in each of these loads. Recoil doesn't feel quite the same. Like that one was, I felt lower than the rest, but maybe not. I'm going to go back to no felt wads on these and putting the lube on the end of the, after the ball on the end of the cylinders. We did swab the barrel out and noticed that there didn't seem to be too much fouling in there. In fact, the one single patch pushed through pretty easy, and the barrel seemed pretty clean, so that part seemed to work. But we seem to be getting some kind of erratic, more of an erratic recoil on the gun, and also noticing that it shot a lot lower, or fairly lower than the groups we shot previous without the wad. So we'll set group number 3 down there and run that without any wads and see what that does. It definitely seems like it's more recoil on those shots. And shots back up where we expect it to be. Last one on the left, otherwise we got a pretty decent group going. So this time what we got going is we're going to try to we did load the cylinder with powder ball compressed on top of that, and then we put the wads after the ball. We did like the way they seemed to clean the barrel out, so we'll see what happens with this group. Seems to be shooting pretty good so far. Like for that last shot. Okay, so what we noticed is that that last group that we fired that had the powder in the ball and the wad on top, that didn't seem to keep the fouling very soft. It was pretty rough in there, and took 2 or 3 swabs to get things cleaned out. What we'll do here is we'll shoot one last group of 6 with just the powder ball, and our lube is on top of it, and just to see what that one does. I've got a decent group going here. Probably should just quit. Call it 6 shots. I got 5 in there. Let's do number 6 when we're doing that picture. Shouldn't be pessimistic. I think we kind of got lucky on that shot.
So the first 2 groups used the lube wads over the powder. When compared to groups 3, 4, and 5, you'll notice the centers to be 1 inch, 2 inches lower, and this is with the same powder load. The only difference was the lube wad over the powder. I noticed some shots with a definite reduced recoil, so I used no wad on top of the powder for groups 3, 4, and 5.